this actually is scientifically proven. These are the things that these medicines try to mimic, you know.
Absolutely.
And these medicines, they treat the symptoms. This heals you.
From the,
You know?
from the inside out.
Yes.
From the inside out. And that they don't want, these are the things that they don't want you to know.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want you to know that plant-based medicine and juicing and anything plant-based is so good for you. They don't want you to know that. They want you to keep going to the pharmacies. They want you to keep filling those prescriptions.
Welcome. We are here with the Holly G with Holly's Melon Shop. Miss Holly, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Al. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, man.
It's super exciting.
Well, you know, what you do is exciting. You know, I love people following their dreams, all of that. And, you know, you're a perfect example of it, you know. So why don't you tell us a little bit about kind of your past and what led you into wanting to do this, the actual, like, to do the juices, because I absolutely love everything you do. So
yeah,
let's start it off. A little bit about you.
For sure. Thank you so much. So I am a 46-and-a-half-year-old adventurer. I'm in the second half of my journey in life. I like to look at it as, you know, taking risks, challenges, things like that. I was a young entrepreneur in my 20s. I owned businesses.
What type of businesses did you have back then?
I had party rental business.
Yes.
So
I was in your field too.
Bouncy houses, inflatables,
Oh.
tables. I had I actually knocked on the doors of the cities and the counties and the schools, and actually became an approved vendor to be
how
at
cool.
Bayshore Elementary, Sportsman's Park. So I was all over Port St. Lucie.
So I used to throw parties. That's what I thought you meant.
Yeah.
I was in the business, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, more entertaining kids and things like that, because I had
Okay.
young children. So for me, it was easy to bring them home every day, wash them down, and let the kids play on them. And they loved it. They were like, man, we have the best mom in the world, you know. So
Synergy. I love it. That's smart.
it was great. So did that for a while, and then broke off from entrepreneurship for a while to pursue my bachelor's degree in organizational management. Then went into the law field, worked, you know, several years doing different types of law, between family law, auto injury, and then PI and process server. So
PI. What's PI?
private investigator.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's intense.
It's intense. So yeah, I was actually doing that right before I decided to go off onto the juice journey.
Yes.
I was, you know, over the law field. I was over knocking on doors, serving people papers, and, you know, chasing after people and hunting things down and defending people that I didn't really believe in. So I was on a journey to lose weight. I was almost like 180. I had gained a lot of weight over the course of a couple of years, and found that my body was just breaking down and didn't feel good anymore. And just, I could tell it in my skin. Like, I started to look at myself in the mirror and did not like what I saw. And I would beat myself up over it. So I started researching different ways to lose weight, and I came across this. It's from like the Dominican Republic. It's a diet that they have over there where they eat strictly like watermelon, and they just eat tons and tons of watermelon, and they lose weight that way. So I was eating the watermelon, doing it that way. Then I decided, I'm going to just try juicing it and see what it tastes like in that. And I had looked up a couple of recipes and found that they were adding, you know, like some mint and some ginger to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just, everything started to taste really good. I was like, wow, this stuff is amazing. So I bought a small juicer off of Facebook Marketplace. I was like, let me do this. And once I started bringing it to parties and sharing it with friends because it was so delicious, I was like, what? They were like, you have to do this as a business. Like, you need to sell this, like bottle it and sell it. And I'm like, that's crazy. You know, I'm like, okay. But eventually I had a customer order a gallon of watermelon juice for a party of his. And from there, I just started doing it more and more from, you know, my home, and like, you know, doing a gallon here and a gallon there, and reaching out to just my friends, you know. And then lo and behold, there was an event that happened in Moores Creek on Avenue D and 8th Street, hosted by yours truly, Al Beltran, and I was out there as a vendor, and at the time I had just a little tiny table and a little gallon of
Yeah, but it looked so cute. You had it set up all nice with little decorations. I was like, okay, I mean, you're legit.
Yeah. So I would put out the pinwheels, you know, the little
Yes.
pinwheels to create a little buzz and a little energy for everybody. And in this journey of meeting new people and just meeting different people from various walks of life, it's been so interesting, and I'm finding such a different vibe when you elevate your energy. You know, that you're finding people that you mesh with a lot better, and through all of this, like, I've been able to cultivate relationships that are just on that next level of vibration and just friendship, and it's been an amazing journey. I'm super grateful. So the Moores Creek thing happened, and did that for a few months, and realized that I was out there and I wasn't licensed to do this. And I was like, oh, well, it came through the radars a couple of times. People were like, maybe you should get a license to do that. And so I was like, all right, let me look into it. So it was a process. You have to really do the research and find out what kind of licensing you need.
You know what I love, though, that you just did it, you know, and that's the way my mind works. I mean, this podcast was like one day I was like, you know what? I know so many awesome people, and I know somebody with a studio. I put up the post, and I called him. I called Mr. Brad Brock right here. We're in the JNC podcast studio, and so I was like, hey, dude, I want to do this thing. Like, what do I have to do? Or would you mind if, you know, I kind of used up some of your space for a little while? Just tell me what I got to do, what I got to pay. How do we make it happen? I just want this to happen.
Yeah.
And then this happened that same day I put that post.
You
that
just
was
did this yesterday.
Oh, yeah, it was yesterday.
I was like, oh, I think we might be doing this podcast thing.
No,
And
I
then
think it
boom.
was a couple days ago maybe. But that's how my brain works.
Yeah.
And just go, I jump, and then we figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's what you did. I love it. You know?
I took a leap, and you know, at first, I mean, there are so many trials and tribulations that come along with it. We paint a pretty picture of how it's going to look when you own a business, and I'm still figuring it out. You know,
Beauty.
working out the taxes and working out the, you know, but I did get licensed through the Department of Agriculture, so
Okay.
I am a, you know, food safety professional as far as that
Nice.
goes, and I have, you know, I am licensed through SafeServe, and I am a licensed bartender. So serving, you know, the community, and that's the thing about the juice bar and Holly's Melon Shop. It is a community-based juice bar. I brought my little flyer here that says
cool.
Holly's Melon Shop, and it's got my QR codes on it, and you can scan those. But at the very top, my logo says your community juice company, and what that means is this was a business that was started in the community, for the community, by the community. I could not have done this without the help of the community, because not only did I do Moores Creek on Avenue D and 8th Street, but I also did Lincoln Park Community. And we're talking in the heat of summer. We're talking when nobody wants to be out being a vendor, nowhere. And Lincoln Park invited me to come and do an event with them for their young professionals group. And I went out there and I did the watermelon juice, and by this point I'm now juicing celery juice and cucumber juice and pineapples and things that I have found change your life. It can actually, juicing and eating a plant-based diet, which is a whole nother conversation, but it actually, you know, because foods can actually they can alter your DNA.
Oh, yeah.
Like processed foods, they can alter your DNA. So I've been doing this for a healthier way of living, to change not only my life, but the life of my family and my friends, because that C word is floating around way too often, and having friends and family members that have been affected by it, this has really pushed me to want to live and eat healthier and, you know, add 100 years to my life, you know?
Yes, it's real food, and I'm a huge believer, and I live by it. I do eat meat, but I mean, other than that, I mean, meat's natural to me, but
Right.
that's all. If it's comes off a plant,
Yeah.
or you know what I mean, something living in some
Yeah.
way or form,
Right.
I'll eat it. But
Right.
not if it's in a box that's been through a factory. And I mean, it's proven now. They know that this is what's causing most of the illness in humans today.
Absolutely.
You know, so like it's funny, man. Even like something like Gatorade. I mean, what you have in your little bottles right here, it's
This is the real Gatorade.
yes, and it has more vitamins, more minerals, more electrolytes. I mean, it's got all the stuff that we need. It's everything that we need is from the planet. I'm a huge believer. That's why you're only my second guest on here, and I was so excited that you reached out.
Yeah.
Because the health of our community is so important to me as well. You know, working out, but more than anything is what you put in your body.
Yeah. 100%.
So what did you bring here today?
So this actually is it's just a simple celery and pineapple juice. You know, celery is good for detoxing. Pineapple is actually a good anti-inflammatory. So putting this in your system first thing in the morning is, you know, it's going to kickstart your day. That's
so
that one.
celery.
Celery and pineapple. That one is. Brad, you want to try some?
Definitely. Here, I'll pass you one down here.
Excuse the Tito's cups. They're from a promo. Well, you can
I
add.
was gonna say, could we add the Tito's to it?
You absolutely
Yes.
can. So that's actually part of the business. The business model is to. I do private events and private parties. I'm available for. On here it says
Boy, is
cocktail
that-
mixers, bridal showers, baby showers, networking events. I've actually hosted several birthday parties. I've been like, people are actually designing their birthday parties around me now because they'll say, what can you come up with for, you know, a gallon's worth of mixer? And I
Oh, it's
say,
the
oh, well, let's do some pineapple ginger. I do some house-made margarita mix. You've actually used some of my juices for your
Oh, yeah.
cocktail mixer that you were having up there on the Thursdays.
Oh, yeah.
So it makes a great cocktail mixer. They're actually very, very tasty. And you're not putting that processed chemical stuff in your body.
That's everything.
Another thing that I've started doing is I make all my own house-made syrups. So this is my lavender lemonade. This is by far one of my most famous popular drinks out there. It's made with organic lavender flowers that I cook down into like a simple syrup. So I don't really add a lot of sugar, and I only use raw cane sugar if I use
Okay.
any. But I use the raw cane sugar, and I make the simple syrup, and then I just add that to the fresh squeezed lemon and the H2O, and it's filtered H2O, of course.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
everything
that's
is
another thing.
as clean and as I don't get it from the tap, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, lavender lemonade.
So it's amazing when you drink this. My body. I don't know about you, Brad, but it's like my body's thanking me. Like this is like, hey, I need this right now. You know, that's another big thing. You know, a lot of deficiencies that people have are from a lot of mineral. Most people have a lot of mineral deficiencies.
Yeah.
Vitamin deficiencies.
Yep.
And that's the cause of most diseases. That's how you could let the diseases come into your body. So these are like, it's imperative that you have fruits and vegetables in your diet.
For sure.
And you make them taste amazing. So, you know, if you got kids and you're trying to get them, this is a way to make sure they're getting all their vitamins, you know?
Absolutely. And the other, you know, part of this process is keeping healthy. I did end up losing about 25 pounds off just juicing, and then of course changing my diet to plant-based. I have no illnesses. I don't get sick. When my neighbor often doesn't feel so well, I make an immunity shot for her, and that is raw ginger, raw turmeric, some cayenne pepper, some raw honey from the local apiary here. I put some black pepper in it for the absorption of the turmeric. And I tell you what, they call some vitamin C, some lemon juice, and some orange juice. They'll call me, top it with some cinnamon. They call me the next day. They're like, I don't know what you gave me, but I feel 100% now. So
mean-
cold and flu season is coming up. Please call me. Please reach out, because I'm telling you right now, there is nothing, no over-the-counter medicine is going to fix you like raw juice and
Yes.
natural cold-pressed juice. There's nothing like it in the world.
It's science. You know, it's funny. My girl Caitlin, she's all, because I like to explain a lot of things, and I'm into a lot of kind of fringe stuff. And one of the things baby, it's science. You got to believe it. But this actually is scientifically proven. These are the things that these medicines try to mimic. You know,
Absolutely.
and these medicines, they treat the symptoms. This heals you.
From
from
the inside out.
Yes.
From the inside out. And that they don't want, these are the things that they don't want you to know.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want you to know that plant-based medicine and juicing and anything plant-based is so good for you. They don't want you to know that. They want you to keep going to the pharmacies. They want you to keep filling those prescriptions. They want you to, it's just insanity. It's doing the
Yeah.
same thing, expecting a different result.
Oh yeah. So, Holly, like what do you think makes you different? You know, there's going to be a lot of young entrepreneurs coming up, and a lot of people. And I mean, I was at that point at one point in my life, and I got over it really quick. But oh man, I can't start my own business. I don't have any money. I don't know what to do. Like, what's the first step in people's mind? You know, what do you think? What would you tell these young entrepreneurs that want to go and follow a dream like you?
Do it. Just follow your dream. If you found something that makes you happy and that you actually love doing, they say when you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. And I'm not rich by any means financially, but I am rich because I have learned and I get to give back to the community. I've done several fundraisers with people, donating gallons upon gallons of lemonade.
You've helped me out many times. Yes.
It's just for me. It's just about for finding my joy and filling my joy. And there's a lot of days that I want to give up. There's so many days, and only because I have special people behind me do they drive me to say, don't give up. So make sure that you have a strong support system, that you have people that believe in your dream, that are willing to support you, not necessarily monetarily, but physically and emotionally, because those farmers markets, I'm at the Fort Pierce Farmers Market every Saturday morning, come rain or shine, and I do a lot of pop-up events. I'll be at the Touch a Truck on Saturday after the farmers market.
Where's that at?
That's the Howard Dunn
Love that
Foundation.
man. What a
Yeah.
great dude he is.
So he's having the Touch a Truck on Saturday
Okay.
for the Howard Dunn Foundation, and I'll be out there as soon as I get done with the farmers market Saturday. I'm going out there
And where's that at?
Lawnwood Stadium.
Oh,
Starts
beautiful.
at the truck show starts at 4 p.m.
This week.
This Saturday.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So just keep doing it. Just keep following your dream, and don't take no for an answer. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not going to make it or that it's not going to work, because I can tell you right now, this is just the beginning of Holly's Melon Shop. I'm doing the networking events, the pop-ups, the farmers markets, and doing roadside. But as many of you know, I've gotten into a restaurant now. So
Yes.
I've partnered up with Chuck's Seafood, who has me at their breakfast, and anybody that knows Chuck's Seafood, it's one of the greatest places.
Oh, I love it,
A
man.
landmark since 1961. So to be partnered up with them has been such a huge blessing, and we're just going up from here. We're not going backwards at all. And the 5-year plan, is to have that brick and mortar and to have that community-based place where people can go to feel good about themselves, to get healthy foods and nutritional and juices, and then to give back to the community, to have a safe space where people can come and feel good, to be themselves. And I like to think of them as elixirs.
Oh yes. Good word.
The juices are elixirs, and
Great word.
they give you an energy and they give you a feeling, but then they also bring you health and immunity, and that's really what I'm trying to create and cultivate into the community. And I want to make Fort Pierce, the Treasure Coast, I want to make it a blue zone where people's average lifespans are living longer.
Somebody brought me up a blue zone the other day.
Yeah.
Because I'm into the field. I'm really into health and longevity and things to give you a better quality of life.
For sure.
And I was just taught. So tell them what a blue zone is, because I never even knew they had this.
So, and Netflix just released a series, and it's like a 4-part series where they travel to different countries. And these blue zones are created of people who live to be more than 100, or at least to 100. So, I mean, if we look at our United States right now, the average is, 65s to 75s is how long people are living. But in these Mediterranean zones where people are still having to go out and work for their food, plant, harvest, eat raw fruits and vegetables, Mediterraneans with the fish and pescatarian diets, or your grass-fed beef or your grass-fed lambs, that are not processed with any antibiotics or pesticides or herbicides or anything. This is all natural stuff. So these are the areas across the globe that they have created. They call the blue zones, and they're beautiful countries.
Yes,
they're hardly touched, but they're those are where the people are living the longest. So.
Yeah, so I think when I was talking, I forget who it was, maybe in Caitlin, talking about number one, it's eating natural food from the earth, unadulterated, and then the other part is movement.
Absolutely.
There's lots of hills. A lot of the houses are 2 stories. You just got to move.
Yeah. They say at least 30 minutes a day of grounding in nature and walking. And then the other part of it is joy, is just being joyful in every moment, no matter how hard it is. We all struggle, and there are some days that are just not as good as others. But if we try to find that joy every single day and then just give that joy back to others, it's completely free to give out a compliment to a random stranger or to pick something up off of the ground. I'm a big believer in just trying to spread that peace, love, and positivity every single day of my life. And I feel like I emit that if people were to say, how do you know her? What is she like? That's what she's like.
And by spreading it brings it to you. I'm a big believer in that as well. The more that you can give and spread that love, that brings you joy.
For sure.
And another thing that's helped me with that, I'm so in tune with everything that we're talking about, and I love this. This is a big part of my life. My mental health, my physical health. But sometimes what can do it for me is like a little bit of meditation. Put yourself in the place to where you felt that type of joy, and your body you're physically gonna emit those vibrations and feel that, and that gets you in that place, and it makes it easier to share, and it's healthy. It's healthy to feel that joy, like you said. It's beautiful.
Yeah, one of my best friends is she's a Reiki instructor, so I'm on that vibrational, constant learning how to, and ultrasound. Ultrasound is actually how they break up kidney stones. So it's like they've actually shown by meditation, they say that 90% of illnesses are caused by stress. So by reducing your stress, by meditating and, doing Reiki or massage or grounding in nature, whatever it is, whatever brings you to that higher power of just calming your body, mind, and spirit, and just bringing in nature around you, the sounds of the beach, the ocean, it completely reduces stress and helps to keep the C word out of your body.
Yeah. Oh,
for
man.
sure. It's scientifically proven.
There you go. I love saying that when it's actually true.
Scientifically proven.
And it's not fringe. We're here now. We're at the place where, and just think about where these studies are going to be in 10 years. There's going to be so many things that me and you were talking about now that's like a lot of people don't believe, but it's going to be mainstream.
Yeah.
They're going to allow these doctors to, to express this, because a lot of the stuff that we're talking about is suppressed.
Yes.
Because there's so much money in the pharmaceuticals.
Absolutely.
And dude, they're making so much that they could afford to squash so many of
For
these
sure.
things that we're learning, you know.
For sure. So we have that aspect of trying to take the business down. You know, there's big conglomerates out there that are always willing to, you know, and they'll make another product that they'll say has these things in it or tastes like this, and it doesn't. It doesn't have those things. And so read your labels, people. Read your labels 100%
Yeah.
because if you can't pronounce it, I wouldn't put it in my body.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, usually, like, I don't ingest many things that I even have to read the label, but if I do, I want it to have 3 things on there, 2 things, 3 or 4 things on it, you know.
Yeah.
Even the granola, I was buying granola the other day because I like having some yogurt with some good granola. I went through, I mean, all the healthy aisles, probably 9, till finally I found the 10th one that didn't have any seed oils in it.
Right.
You know, so I mean, even these things that they call it health washing. You know, oh, healthy, it's healthy, heart healthy, but you go in and it's loaded with all this stuff that it's not healthy. You know?
That lavender lemonade, you have to get some.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
big lavender fan. I got a big bag of lavender like this big at the house. We use it for everything.
How's that cold brew treating you? That coffee.
I'm zooming.
So we did a 24. I do a 24-hour, a 48-hour, and a 72-hour cold brew. There's one for Brad too. I do them, and they're named after the amount of time that it takes me to process. Because if you know cold brew is not just coffee that's put over ice. It's actually steeped overnight in a cold container. So
Good. And you know what? I've never made it, but that's all I drink is cold brew.
yeah.
So tell me again the process. Are these whole beans or okay?
So well, you'll want to have a whole bean or a coarse ground
Uh-huh.
bean, and they make basically it's like a filter that you put into. You could do a 5-gallon mason jar or a 1-gallon mason jar with a lid on it, and put the filter down into the cold coffee, the water, and then just let it steep overnight. And so like I say, the 24 hours is more going to be your mild flavor. It's not going to have as much depth, and it's not going to be as strong. And then your 48, your 24, 48, and then 72. So
I want that 72.
Yeah, that's what you had. You had that 72.
So yes, this guys, this is special. So how do you sell it? You sell this by the quart, by the
That's actually just by a cup. So we're
Okay.
doing that at the restaurant, and they have a
nice.
cold brew coffee on their menu. So I'll do like a lavender cold brew, or I'll put some only plant-based creamers in it. So depending
Nice.
on what kind of plant-based creamer I can find.
For me, like, it smells and tastes nice and rich, but it doesn't have any of the harshness. Like, I'm an espresso drinker as well, you know. I like espresso or cold brew. I just like the
Yeah,
zoom.
yeah.
You know, it hits me. This is one thing that some people aren't sensitive to caffeine, but like this is my jam. I'm drinking. I'm like zooming around, like woo.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So this is, like I say, it's got that robust flavor, but it's so smooth. I've
Thank
never
you.
had one that's like, it's like soft on the palate. What kind of water do you use? I think that could be something.
That's a bottled H2O. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Zephyr Hills or
Yeah.
it depends on, but it's
Because I know
definitely
that's
bottled.
a different, that's a difference, and it's just got a really soft mouthfeel, which I absolutely love. you know.
appreciate
It's not
that.
astringent at all, which some coffees will be, you know.
I appreciate that. That's a
Yeah.
real raw taste test right there.
Oh, yeah,
I've
I
never
gotta-
had any feedback on it yet, so
Yeah.
to hear you say that is
Yeah, it's
is
rich,
pretty
it's
awesome.
robust, not astringent at all, and it's got a really subtle, soft mouthfeel, which I love. I was in the beer business, and I was actually a water tester for the city one year, and
Yeah.
so I like.
You know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can pick apart my palate really good. I like food. I like flavors. I like smells, flavors, feels. All the senses. I'm one of those sensey people.
Absolutely.
You know?
Sensory overload.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is overload. So
Sensey, that's
same thing
another
with the
name.
lavender. It's going to have that calming, relaxing feel, but then it's also, you got some sour lemonade in there too.
Oh, yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. So tell us about some stuff that you have coming up here in the next year. Do you have any plans for? 'Cause I know you just started at Chuck's, which
Yeah.
is super cool. First, tell us a little bit about what they got going on there, and then any other cool plans that we should look out for you.
Sure. So I'm at Chuck's Seafood right now. The breakfast is only open on Saturdays and Sundays, but once season starts back up, it will go back to the Thursday through Sunday.
Oh, nice.
So 4 days a week. The Chuck's Seafood, again, landmark since 1961. The owner is is amazing. She's a local, and she's just down to earth, and she is about helping the community. They're always doing, right now it's lobster season, so if you're looking for some fresh lobster, I just had one over there.
Spiny lobster.
Yeah,
Florida lobster.
they've got all kinds of them over there. They just got 150 pounds in the other day, and they use local fishers. They get it from local fishers.
I know a few of the guys that they buy their fish from.
For sure.
That's a legit.
It's a legit
Florida,
place.
Yeah, man.
They're all about it. So coming up, I have partnered with Island E-Bikes, which is an electric bike company.
I know them.
Yeah, I don't
They're
know.
on Causeway, right?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's seen me riding around yet, but I am toting my lemonade stand on the 3-wheel trike in a cooler down the causeway and down right around Chuck's, So it's kind of like a mobile thing, because as you know, I'm a mobile business, so I mostly do pop-ups and events and networking things, and I bring the party to you. So putting it on the bike was genius.
That's awesome.
It was genius. I've also talked with Salty's Water Sports to do the same thing on the jet skis and the boats.
Wow.
So we've got that in the works too. And just over the next year, just look for more growth from Holly's Melon Shop. I don't give away all the secrets, because I don't believe in speaking too much on it until it actually happens, because you might jinx it. But I believe in manifesting it, and that means writing it down, putting it into. There are things that I wrote down a year ago that when I look back now, it's like, wow, I already was thinking about doing that, and now here I am actually doing it. So
it's beautiful, man.
Always follow your dreams. Do whatever your heart tells you to, and if you're able to make that leap of faith, just take it. If you're able to, if you have the opportunity, take it, because there's no going back once you realize how great entrepreneurship is, and just being in control of your own destiny.
Yes, you don't have to ask permission to take your kids to a doctor's appointment.
Heck no. Heck no, you don't.
Yeah, no, I completely get it, man. I remember years ago when I made the jump, it's like, and I'll say this, I say it often, it's not for everybody, and it's okay if it's not for you. But we're here for the people that it is for.
Sure, there's people out there, like my son, for instance. He needs structure. He needs discipline. He needs, a guide to, do certain things. So, it isn't for everybody, but for the people that it is for, hopefully this will help.
Yes, man. I thank you so much. This is some awesome stuff. I'm definitely gonna probably get a little bit more of that coffee, because it's got, it's.
You
legit.
Can take it. You can
really?
take it. I'll leave that for you. You can have that and just bring me the jar back.
Well, thank you so much. So let's give the people, where can they find you? What days you're where? And then any Instagram or Facebook. Let's give them all out there. I'll also put, I'll put the nice little image up, but let's tell them where we can find you.
So every Saturday morning, it is a Saturday morning tradition, the Fort Pierce Farmers Market from 8 a.m. to noon. I am there. I am a loyal vendor. I was so grateful to be in there. My girl Kathy Green and my friend Brenda and Missy over there, they've been so good to me to help get me into the farmers market, and then just keep me there and keep me coming back, because there are some weeks where I'm just like, I'm not doing it, but we're in off season right now too, which is very tough. It's very, very tough. There. So the locals, if I were you, get out to the farmers market now, because when we do go back in season, you're not going to be able to find a parking place. You're not going to be able to get down there.
Well, and there's even, even at right now, off season, there's still some of these booths that have lines. You got to wait, people giving your place.
I saw
always constantly people tasting, trying, buying, So
That's
season
great.
is going to be pretty crazy. Or get there early too.
Get there early. Yep.
Yeah.
And then throughout, I do deliveries throughout the Treasure Coast.
Yeah. I've met you for some drop-offs at the parks.
Yep, we're dealing. We look like dealers.
Right, I'll meet you at. It's so funny. It kind of feels awkward. I'm like pulling up to the park. I'm like giving her money. She's giving me a jar of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's juice, guys.
Yeah, it's juice. we're just doing juice over here. So yeah, I am a juice slinger, a juice hustler. So super proud of it. So yeah, if anybody needs a delivery or wants to get a juice cleanse, if you're looking to change the way you eat, change the way you feel, please reach out to me, because I don't say I know it all, but I know enough, and I know what has worked for me, and I know what has worked for other people. So reach out to me, Holly's Melon Shop on Facebook and Instagram. If any of you have been customers of mine and have any reviews that you can leave, my Google is blowing up. So that's coming along really well. I will get on there. I'm planning on it this week to make some changes to it, but put your reviews on Google because I need them, and it's helping to grow my business even more. And someone called me over the weekend and came down to the farmers market because they found me on Google. So
Oh, that's amazing.
it is amazing. So yeah, that's the gist of it, and it's amazing, and it's hard. It's definitely takes work, and my back hurts because that tent is not light.
Yeah, but you're out there pumping it.
But I
man.
keep my guns growing,
That's
and
it.
I don't even work out anymore. I just do what I do, and
Yeah.
and it just comes naturally. So
Yeah.
I'm super grateful.
No, that's awesome, guys. It's a great lesson. Follow your dreams, bust your butt. Don't let people tell you can't. Well, you can let people say whatever they want. Just don't
Listen to them.
That's it. People can say whatever the heck they want, man.
Yeah.
I've dealt with it my whole life. Well, Holly, man, it's been awesome. Thank you so much for the samples. These are all absolutely delicious. That coffee will get some use. I guarantee you that. And Caitlin at home, she's going to love it too. We're both,
Great.
definitely coffee people.
Sweet.
But thank you guys. The Holly G with Holly's Melon Shop. Thank you for being here. And you guys, we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.